Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to welcome all of you here today so that I could share what I have been working on for the past few days. First, before I start, I would like to thank all my subscribers for watching. And I also want to let you guys know that I am doing a 100 subscriber giveaway. It will be coming soon. As soon as I hit 100 subscribers, I will be doing a drawing. The details are in my last video, so if you check that out and you want to participate in the drawing, it tells you the instructions on how you can do that. So just look back at my last video and you can be entered in to win a really nice craft supply box gift set. And I will show you what's in that on a later video, but if this is your first time watching, I would like to welcome you here. My channel has a little bit of everything. I like to craft, I like to junk journal, I like to just make different things, so you never know what you're gonna see on here. Oh, and I also like to cake, so you'll probably see some cake related videos as well. But anyway, so yeah, I'd like to thank my subscribers for watching today, and I would also like to welcome any new people here today. Just if you like this video or any of my other ones and you would like to subscribe, I would love to have you here. So just hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment, you can like or whatever you want to do, and we would love to have you here. So I have been working on a family recipe book, and I have been inspired by a few crafters that have made different recipe books. So this is not entirely my idea, but it's my spin on some of the other crafters that have made some recipe books. I think summer and warm weather are really good times to compile just different recipes from family gatherings and such, and pick out your favorite and add them to your own recipe book. And some people have like family traditions that, you know, dishes that they cook during certain holidays and stuff that they want to keep and maybe to pass down to their children and the ones who follow. So I have compiled some of my favorite recipes. Of course, this is not all of them, but some of the recipes from my grandmother and some different family members that I don't want to ever lose. So if you are interested in that, just keep watching. So I started off by showing you the last time what I had picked up from Joann's, and I found this paper pad. It's by Park Lane. It's called Farmer's Market, and it has several kitchen related papers in it, and I thought it was really cute, so I wanted to use those papers for my recipe book. And here is my recipe book. So I made this nice bunch of this big huge tassel from just different fibers. I added some rickrack, some ribbon, some pom-pom trim, let's see, some lace, and I found this really cute rope and I kind of frayed it at the end. I thought that was interesting. So, and then I added like an old piece of jewelry that I don't wear anymore. I thought that would give it some interest, and I also made a dangle for it, and I added different color beads, some clear, silver, red, a berry bead, another berry bead, and at the bottom I added little charms, and this one is like a little lollipop. That's the only kind of food related charm that I had, so I thought I would use it. So now this is the cover of my home recipe book, and I used a Dollar Tree file folder, and I cut I want to say like 2 inches from the top and then maybe 2 inches from the sides to make these, and then I covered them with some of the scrapbook paper that I just showed you from that paper pad. This had like the honey and the pickle jar and the jam and all that stuff. So I added the scrap paper to file folders, and I actually used only 4 file folders. So let me just show you. I added 2 pockets to the front. This says Home Sweet Home, and then this tag here just says Home, and I think I'm gonna put recipes here. This little paper bow I made was inspired by Coffee Paper Scissors. She made these on one of her videos a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. However, mine did not turn out as beautiful as hers. So I just made this one. Since it wasn't that gorgeous, I was just like, I'll just stick it on here and call it a day. So, but it's good enough. So it's kind of like the old vintage look, and I dyed, I inked around the petals of the flower. So that's that. I also added some stickers I got from Hobby Lobby. They had a lot of stuff on clearance, and I think I got a whole sheet for like 74 cents or something like that. But anyway, so that's where those came from. And then I put a few tags in the first pocket for, you know, sometimes you have those recipes that are only like 3 ingredients or something, and you just want to kind of pick it up real quick. So I just put a few tags in the front for something like that, or like you know, just like a pie crust or something that only has a couple of ingredients. You can just pick up a tag and write it down, and you always have it. And then I made this cute little tag from some scrap paper. It's almost like a material, but this scrap paper is from a paper pad I got from Joann's. I think I hauled that last week or the week before, but it's really pretty paper, and I added a little cupcake to the top of it. And then you can write a recipe or whatever you want to on the back, and then it tucks in this pocket. All right, so let's get in here. All right, so the front page is, okay, so I started off, first of all, with sweets. And a lot of times I do that. Well, the reason I did that was because I don't always need a recipe like for my regular menu of foods that I normally make. When I do use my recipe book, it's normally for sweets because I don't normally make like the traditional sweets often. So I'm gonna have those compiled into this book. The wonderful thing about this book is I have gotten my grandmother to write some recipes for me and some other family members to write recipes for me so that I can keep this book forever, and I have their recipes in their own handwritings. So if I decide to give this to my daughter, then when she gets older, she can show her children, and they're actually, a lot of the recipes are written in different people's handwritings. For instance, like this is something that my grandmother, I don't think this is her recipe, but this is something that she wrote for me to try. So this is my grandmother's handwriting. And throughout you'll see what I mean. But anyway, so I added a couple of recipe cards, And I am actually looking for a chocolate chip cookie recipe that I made a while back, and I wanted to put that into this recipe book. I just haven't gotten to that yet. So a couple of papers, and here I have a bag with a tag because I wanted to find an old an old ice cream recipe, family recipe, that I wanted to stick in this pocket here. And then on the side, I just added some puffy stickers with sweet, and I punched these little circles out of a punch. And so here I just added a couple of recipes that I already had. This is my grandma's strawberry cobbler, and this is a family member's cinnamon bread. Here is a recipe for sour cream pound cake, and it is so good. And it takes a while to make, so I don't normally make this, but I wanted to make sure it was in my recipe book. On this side, I added a pocket with a recipe from a friend, strawberry pretzel salad, and that's in her own handwriting. I thought that was nice to keep, you know, to show their handwritings. And here is a card with old-fashioned ice cream. I think it's snow cream, like when it snows, you never eat the first snow. But here in North Carolina, after it snowed once or twice, we actually go out and make recipes from the snow, and it's delicious. So I have like a regular recipe, and I also have like the coffee and chocolate recipe for snow cream. I don't know if that's just a southern thing. I don't know if they eat snow up north or not, but we do. This is not a family recipe. This is like an Olive Garden hack that I found, but this is my favorite dessert. So I wanted to add the recipe into this recipe book. And this takes forever to make. I have made it a total of 1 time. So yeah, and that's my handwriting. I had to write all this out. But anyway, so I always have that recipe if I ever want to take the time to make black tie mousse cake. If you have not tried that from Olive Garden, you really should. It is my favorite dessert of all times. Here I have added a pocket to the top, if you can see that, to the top of this with a chart of conversions. Because sometimes, you know, you're making a recipe and you're like, well, how many teaspoons is a tablespoon? How many, you know? So here is a little conversions chart to help you out. So if you ever are making a recipe book, you should add that. And you can use the different ones. You don't have to just do the ones that I use, but so that tucks here. And then I have a little thing that says, today we eat cake, and a slice of pie. All right, the next page is still dealing with sweets here. I normally make candy almonds, and if you have not tried candy almonds, you really should. They are delicious. So this is something that I normally make for my kids, and they like them. So I put the recipe on the back of the card, and then here's a spot for them, for it. Also, I have a recipe for the bottom of a pie crust, and a cake decorator's frosting. This is not really my recipe, but something I wanted to keep, so I took that in, and then I left room for another recipe in case I need it. It's always good to leave space to grow, right? So then here's an empty recipe card so that I can keep adding. And also I can make, you know, more of these sheets as I need them. That's one reason I put my recipe book on the 3 rings. That way I can expand if I need to add more to my book. So on this page, I made a spot for drinks. And, you know, this is really not for alcoholic drinks. I'm not a drinker, but I know there's a few like punches that I like during the holiday season that don't really require a lot of different ingredients. So I made 2 different pockets for these, and I'm gonna add like my normal Christmas punch and stuff like that. So I'll do a couple of punches, and if I decide that I have found more recipes, I can add to the recipe book. So that's always good. All right, moving on. This is where I am gonna start entrees and sides. So this is like the meat and gravy to the to the recipe book. This is where I'm gonna add like the entrees and the really delicious things that we pass down from generation to generation. So here I just added a pocket and the sticker that says life is what you bake it, and a couple of pockets for whatever I want to write. If I need to put some sort of note or a really small recipe or something like that, I can stick it right in there. Or, you know, that's the wonderful thing about these. You can just take away what you want and add what you want, and it all works out. So that tucks back there. I also have a pocket here and a card, which you can add a recipe here, in which I just started this, you know, a few days ago. So I haven't added all of my recipes here, but I just wanted to show you what I've done so far. So here's a pot, a mitten, and some utensils. It says eat fresh, and then there's a little tag in there. And that goes in here. And then here, I added a pocket, and here's a recipe for cornbread salad. And here's a little card that I made that you can add a recipe on. It's a really gorgeous paper from Joann's. And this paper is from Park Lane Farmers Market, the book I just showed you. This is a recipe for baked beans, like a doctored up baked beans that are really, really good. And this is in my family as well. This is hold on, I need to cover this. This is a recipe for chicken salad, the most delicious chicken salad I ever tasted. And this is one of my older cousin's recipes. So this is a really good recipe, and this is for a Thanksgiving dressing, and that is from my mom's mom, and this is written by my mom. And this is my great aunt Lois's recipe for yams. These are delicious as well. And I just realized when I was making this, in a lot of our recipes, we don't write how much of each thing should go in. You have to kind of eyeball it and taste it and just know that you're doing the right thing. So this is a recipe for my grandma's pickles. They are delicious. We actually made some together last year. Yeah. So my cousin and myself and my grandmother, we made pickles a couple years ago together, and it was just delightful. So moving on, I have a recipe for salsa. My friend gave me her mother's recipe for salsa. And also, this is like how to season greens and like just different greens that we eat in our family. That's not something that I would, I wouldn't do that often because it's kind of unhealthy. But if you want that taste, I mean, I always have the recipe for if I ever want to taste that again. This is my grandmother's chicken and dumplings recipe. So good. If you guys are interested in any of my recipes, I may be willing to share them with you. Maybe. No, but you can leave me a comment if so. Okay, so here I just added some coffee dyed envelopes and I glued them down, and then I added a few recipes that were handwritten by my grandmother. Again, I don't know if these two are, I think these are recipes that she wanted to try. So, but I still wanted to keep them because they're in her handwriting. So I'm hoping to get, oh, I'm sorry. I'm hoping to get her one of her handwritten recipes framed and hang it on my wall in the kitchen. And here is the back page, and I just added some Hobby Lobby stickers that say eat, some pie, rolling pin, and some cookie cutters. And then here are some tags just to write out some recipes. Again, I need to still write out my like Christmas goodies, recipes, and stuff like that and put them in here. I just haven't gotten around to that part yet since I just started making this a couple days ago. And the wonderful thing is on the back, I have a picture of my grandmother. And so she would probably be mad if she knew I had this picture of her on here. But I thought it would be nice to add that into my recipe book. And here I also added a picture of Sunday dinner at my house, which we normally have Sunday dinner at my grandmother's house. And that's a very important staple that we have always done. So it's just nice to have family, you know? So this is my grandmother, and she goes in here. But I'm going to find another spot for her so that this picture doesn't get ruined. But yeah, so since a lot of her recipes are in here, I wanted to add her picture as well. Yeah, so there is my recipe book, and I think it turned out really nice. I really love it, and hopefully it's something that even my daughter or sons would like to keep, you know, just to share with the next generation. I don't know if it'll make it that long, but hopefully we'll find a way. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear any comments that you would have. If you would like any of the recipes in here, you can send me a message. Let me know. Also, if you have not subscribed yet, I would love for you to subscribe and enter into my 100 subscriber giveaway. And I think that's it for today, but thank you guys for watching me, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.